My name is Tamika.
My name is Latoria. Heartfelt Connections on Heartfelt Connections podcast. What would you say to someone that can help them get out of a situation that they're in that they
Run! Nah. Listen, when it comes to like love and your heart, that's the challenge right there. Because it's not as easy as you think. You can't just tell somebody who met somebody, now they have feelings for somebody. Now they not only that, they love them or they had a soul tie. It's not gonna be easy all the time to walk away. So, but it's gonna take some. I think. Listen, what it took me, it took some good spiritual counseling.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to be connected to like some good spirit-filled people that were saved, women, men that I could trust, and the ones that I built a good rapport with that I can pour into and tell them, some things that I was dealing with to help me, out of the situation.
Yeah. For me, it was being kind to myself. Mm-hmm. That was what pulled me out. That scripture when we talked about.
She want to preach. We'll go ahead.
No, I'm not trying to preach today.
That's prophetess.
But
she want to preach anyway. So
that's now I lost the scripture, but
be kind. You said
being kind. So the scripture says, "Love your neighbor as you love yourself." You have to love yourself first before you try to love someone else, and you have to love yourself continually as you're loving someone else. So. It was just like what the scripture says that I have to love myself. Well, loving myself means walk away because you're hurting me. Every day I had to learn how to be kind to myself. And then I thought about, people say, oh, divorce is not of God and it's bad. But I was just like, Father, would you rather me be in an abusive situation, your daughter be in an abusive relationship, or would you rather me be free? He'd rather me to be, to be free. That also helped me realize that I need to continue to be kind to myself and to patient with myself because I didn't leave automatically. It took me every day taking one step at a time, one moment at a time, because I went back and then I went out and then I went back again. And the more I was kind to myself, the easier it was to make the transition. And then there's another scripture and that talks about and then I'm gonna be done with my last scripture that says I think it's in Zephaniah when it says that my love quiet you, and it's like God's love had to quiet me and my chaotic soul to be able to function, because when everything is loud you can't hear anything and you can't function enough to make sound decisions. So when his love quieted me, I was able to make a sound decision.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off of what you said about being kind to yourself. Like, I was just thinking about how we can physically walk away from a situation, but mentally we still are there. Yeah. And that's the connection.
Yeah.
That's the connection. Because, see, the mind and the heart, it goes together. And so it's a balance that you have when it comes to your mind and your heart. But when it comes to certain things and when love and when you love somebody and it's hard to walk away. You can walk away physically, but your heart can turn back. You can walk away physically and mentally. You walked away. You done walked away to another whole. Say when you done left, you done went to another whole state. This person is here. Your mind is still there. Your heart. So I was saying that it's something about how that mind and that heart goes together. And so it has to be some kind of yoke has to be destroyed.
Absolutely.
It has to be some yokes being destroyed. And it's very serious when you are in relationships that are, like you mentioned, that are abusive, emotionally abusive. A lot of women don't like to talk about that. A lot of women just like to talk about holding hands. We went to the park. We got some food. We sat down. We watched a movie. We went shopping. He took me shopping. Things like that, But That's not all. That's not all to it. And I think that's when we get stuck. I think that's when we get stuck and we really lose sight off of really everything that God really has for us. We really lose sight of what He has. And I myself, I was just thinking the other day, and I was just like, wow, God, I'm single, I'm divorced. None of your business how many years. But yeah, and I said to myself, I said, where I am, I want to be an example. I went back to my first love. My first love, Jesus Christ, made it right back with the Lord, Got my relationship, the way that it's supposed to be. And I don't want to let Him down ever again. And also I don't want to be a castaway. So all these things that we were talking about, connections, heartfelt connections, and different feelings and different emotions, it's not easy. It's not easy because just, hey, I'm a woman. I got needs. I love, you know what I'm saying? I'm a very loving person. I love people. I'm not ugly.
That's true.
And I know I'm attractive. And I got wolves after me all the time. Constantly coming. So what do you do? What do you do when you out there shopping? When you at the store, you're not even thinking about it, but hey, there comes this fine guy. Hey, I can pay that for you, or you look very nice. Or just being so nice to you. And sometimes vulnerability sets in. Like, wow, it's been a long time. It's been a long time that I ever gave anyone a chance to get kind of close to me. So, yeah. But being kind to yourself, that was a good one. Loving yourself and being kind to yourself. Appreciate who you are. Your self-worth.
Yeah.
Right? Your self-worth and how you value yourself. And when you begin to value yourself and you begin to treat yourself right, you become, I believe, that's when the healing starts.
Yeah, I agree. And to forgive, there was something you was like when you said be kind to yourself. Well, I said everything, you said it, but it's just when you be kind to yourself, you won't be moved so easily when somebody else be kind to you, because some people being kind to you is just the bare minimum. But because we're so used to being beat up, or we don't be kind to ourselves, when we experience that kindness, we feel like it's so different, and we just get ooh, and we just lose sight of this is something that is the bare minimum that should be done. And there was something else too that you said about your soul, or you're here, you done moved on, you came out the relationship, but you still mentally or emotionally
physically.
So a sign. I was gonna say a tail sign. How would you say telltale sign? Something like that. Anyways,
I don't know.
But a sign that shows that is when that person is still controlling your moves, even in another relationship. Like,
well, let's just call it what it is. It's just manipulation.
Right. And so, yeah.
It's so much to talk about. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, for an example, like if I'm in a new relationship and that person says something to me that triggers me, and I respond to them. Triggers. And I respond to them as if they're the other person and they didn't even do nothing wrong.
What are some of your triggers?
One of my triggers.
Maybe we can help somebody. Like, triggers are real. Like, I can tell you one.
You go first, because I'm trying to think of. Because
I got some triggers, like, if I meet somebody and I'm fond of him, and if I've known him for, like, let's see, a few weeks or a month, one of my triggers is money. Don't ask me for anything. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, don't present yourself to me like, because you see I'm getting close to you and we're starting to bond a little bit, so now you feel like you can play on my emotions and you can try to ease it in, like, yeah, I got a phone bill due and I got paid, and you'll tell me your little sad story that in 2 weeks you'll have the money and stuff. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a big trigger for me. Like, you gonna have to match what I got, and that's where my self-worth came in at. you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because see, I know what I went through in the past when my ex-husband used to take all my checks, take every dime I had. That's just how he was. I was the breadwinner. He was not. He was not. Took all my checks. And so any relationship that I had, when you begin to ask me for my money, sometimes I cried behind closed doors because I felt that abuse. You know, that's one of my main triggers. I don't like that, and it's such a turn off. Yeah. I met a guy, and you know, I mean, nice guy. I mean, I barely give anybody my phone number. I'm like, it's an privilege to talk to me. And so I gave somebody my number. I said, he said, maybe we keep touch. I said, yeah. And he says, I said, yeah, maybe we can sit down and have a business conversation. And I just kept it like that. Mm-hmm. And long story short, he began to tell me this, tell me that. And then so we were texting at one point. I said, why is this dude texting me? I said, normally, if a guy is fond of you, normally, regardless of the fact, they're gonna ring your phone, right? And I said, okay. So I just sit up there and I FaceTimed him. I did, girl. And 3 days, I said, let me FaceTime this dude, because I ain't playing no games. Like, what this kind of dude is this? I FaceTime him. You know why I FaceTimed him? Oh, I forgot to tell you, when I called his main line, Toya, the phone was not ringing. The operator said, there, gotta pay the bill. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? So I FaceTimed him. He answered the phone. I said, this dude answering phone calls on the Wi-Fi. He told me a little story about it, and that is, the phone lines are tied up, and it's like $500. And I'm like, in my mind, come on, I got 3 lines. And if you that behind, I'm not going to get into the details about it, but something had happened. I guess something always happens. Tragedy had happened. And somebody that was connected to the line, and it left them with a bill. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, you just told me you was balling. You could have just paid the bill off. Yeah, and I'm like, and I just kept texting, and then getting random texts. Oh my gosh, that is, ladies, don't, I don't play. I have really now, being I know my self-worth, I do not play with random text messages. If you connected to me, then you're going to treat me right every single day as long as you're connected to me. You know, because there is a disconnection. You know what I'm saying? I don't take less, and I don't take down. Yeah, so that's a big trigger. I don't not play with men just bumming off of women. I can't stand it. Go get a job. Listen, do something. And see. Here's the thing. This is where I come in at with the big heart. Mm-hmm. I know when a guy is really sincere. Mm-hmm. I feel him. I can see. I told somebody this. I said, when I'm connected to a guy, and I said, wow, he's attractive, and I like him, because it takes a lot for me to get there. But when I do get there, I gotta feel that charisma and that genuineness. You know what I'm saying? When I feel that genuineness, and I'm like, the dude's really sincere. I mean, I see him have goals set ahead. Yeah, he's telling me he's doing this and he's doing that, and it's nothing wrong if a man tell you and say, hey, you know, I have some money, you know, but I'm waiting for for my next check. But sometimes I still look at that too. But I don't like to judge. I don't like. What about you?
So okay, that's kind of touching. It is touching because we as women.
Should we feel like we're so like?
No, you know, when you said what was your trigger, and I was like, Lord, I don't want to say this, but I was about to say broke men, and it's not about. That's why I was like, you go first, because I was like, Lord, I gotta come up with a different one. But it's not about being broke, but it's about the mismanagement part. You know, because then you're gonna mismanage me too. Because if you can't manage your finances. And you ain't got to be balling. It's just like, what are you doing? Are you working on being better? Like, for an example, I met this guy.
But let me before I lose the thought.
Okay.
Now, we always talk about how women,
Mm-hmm.
but there are some broken men too. Because
Absolutely.
we're not putting a label on this, just women, but there are some men. I know somebody that he's divorced,
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been with nobody else over a year and a half. So what do you say about that? You know, what do you do when you meet somebody like that? You
That's
know,
broke or broken? Because I said broke, not broken.
But hold up, this person really, I can't say that they're broke, but they come out of a marriage and they may have some financial issues,
Right.
but they're getting
That's
back on their feet.
different.
So I said, but no.
Because you gotta have goals.
No.
Okay.
No, because look, see, I know my self-worth. So I'm just trying to make a point. The high women, the high maintenance women. Oh Lord, my lashes. Oh my God.
Don't piss me off. Keep going.
Oh,
There you go. Keep going.
so, what was I saying? What was I saying?
About this guy, he went through a divorce, and because
You're missing everything I said.
no, because you was about to make a point, but you didn't make it yet because you're.
So I said, so what do you do? Yeah, ladies, what do you do? How do you label a man like that? See, that's big. What I said though, because what when a woman is broken, all that, and they know their self-worth and all that. But what about the man that's been broken? And what about him? He doesn't want to be used and abused either.
Right.
What if he's been used and abused?
But we can talk about that too.
But we talking about the broke. We still talking about the broke part.
Not
That's
the
the
broken,
trigger.
Because that's the
Well, no, I'm talking about he broken and broke.
But if he's broken and broke, then he needs to seek counseling.
But he got a lot of love.
To work.
But what does he got a lot of love though to offer you?
Well, he can have a lot of love
You
to
want
offer
that?
me, but it's gonna be broken. It's not gonna be whole. And what happens when it's not whole? When things don't go your way, or things fall apart because of the foundation.
You'll deal with a man like that?
I deal with someone who's broken.
Broken and broke.
But no. I won't. I will deal with you on a friendship.
This is gonna be
level.
one or the other with me.
No, it's like I deal with you on a friendship level, but you have to prove to me. You got to go to counseling. You got to get counsel. You got to be rooted in church and your scriptures like that. You got to work. And then if you decide to do those things, then maybe we can go to the next level. But we're gonna start our friendship, and then you need to find a way to fix your finances.
What I'm trying to say, sis, on top of that, is it wrong for me to think that I'm so better now?
No,
now that I done went through the valley and all that.
But you did the work. It's not that you're
come
better.
Come on, help me
but
out.
You did the work.
See, go ahead.
You sought counsel. You made changes. You
set my goals.
You set your goals. You looked
my
at
standards.
yourself, right? Reflection. You looked in the mirror like, oh, I need to fix this. Right. So you did the work.
School.
So people cannot have the benefits of something they didn't work for.
There we go.
They want the benefits of the healed person, but they don't want to do the work to be healed.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't care if he looks like Denzel Washington. And they said a body like Arnold with a Denzel face. All that. And I'm like, I don't care about that. Like, listen, I'm so serious. And I meet nice guys all the time. I had one, he gave me a card at the bank. Everybody in the bank Saturday just knew that he was on me. And I handled it very well. And he gave me his card, business card. It was like, girls like, girl, you got a lot of money. He's like, but that's not the point. That connection, them heartfelt connections, and I gotta watch that. Like, what is this gonna be about? Is this a trap again? And you see how we talking around. It's like we're talking this and that, and we're talking that. But one thing we're really leaving out, not saying you, God is the center of all connections.
Absolutely. Because 2 or 3.
We went around the block,
right?
Because we wanted the audience. We wanted to have a, when we talking to the audience, everybody not saved. Everybody not in church. And so when it comes to relationships, you know, some people has been, you know, in abusive relationships, and it's real touchy. So you gotta walk light. You know, you can't just, yeah, girl, you, you know, and blah 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 blah. Mm-mm. You gotta walk light with some things, and then kind of, you know, up it.
Can you guys talk about the tricky part of the heartfelt connections? Like he lure you in with all his
So when it comes,
situations,
so
and he trick you,
hold on for a second.
or somebody tricks you.
Hold on, y'all. We'll be back.